How's it going, everyone? Jesus here, aka Tyrant Dominus, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. And best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. Honestly, Anchor is a very enjoyable platform to be on, listen on, and just a joy to be a part of this community. Anchor, come check us out. And welcome back to Reactioncast. It's your host Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus, here to bring you another television review. This time around, we're going to be talking about the anime Tsukimichi Moonlit Fantasy. So, this is another isekai episode, or anime. This one kind of does your classic overpowered MC with your not so classic harem style thing with a actually very interesting protagonist MC main character. Now this one I've actually was reading before, so I had already a sense of what I was getting into, so I was wanting to see what they were going to portray in the anime. So and like always, I'm not going to be taking all those preconceptions of the anime or any of the light novel stuff into my reaction to the anime. The anime has to do its job on its own and what it was given. So basically, this is your classic anime where your classroom of students get teleported by some goddess, and everyone gets like these abilities and stuff like that. And when it's his turn to get, the goddess thinks, you're ugly, I don't like you, you're trash, I'm gonna send you to the edge of the world and I don't ever have to see you, and the only thing you can do is talk to monsters. That's his ability. At this point, the god of earth kind of hey, my bad, here, I'm gonna help you and give you my blessing and stuff like that, to kind of give him some edge, because he is being thrown into another world. And then you kind of get into these shenanigans where you get your classic him fighting something. Turns out his abilities are overpowered for the most part, and it's a very fun show if you enjoy watching your MC just kind of figure out what to do in this situation. In this one, Makoto kind of, I'll do a little bit of spoiling, not too much, just kind of because it kind of makes sense of what the plot of this thing is, because it's him trying to figure out what he's gonna do now that he's kind of stuck on this world. He's stuck on this planet where the goddess kind of hates him, so he's kind of lost for the most part, until he starts gathering people under him, and that's when he starts to build something out of it. And Makoto kind of luckily has some inherent physical and magical capabilities, because this is kind of the light spoiler, is that his parents are actually from this world, so his lineage is from this world. So his this is all anime, so his physiology is based off this world's physiology. So he was just getting stronger while he was on Earth, because he was holding back his latent abilities. So when he ended up coming back here, he went Super Saiyan basically, and alright, let's do this. And along the way, he kind of meets more individuals that kind of really showcase how powerful he is, and he starts gathering people under him, making his own kind of like village towns, things like that. And for the most part, he's trying to, one, go be with other humans, but still trying to make a life with like the demi-humans and the monsters that he's basically collected along the way. And with his like the two subordinates he has, he gets one a little later, a third one, but for the most part it's like heavy. The first two subordinates, I can't remember their names off the top of my head. Let's see if I can just quickly scroll here. Tomoe and Mio. There we go. Let's go with, yeah, those are the two main characters that kind of follow him. There's a couple characters, but these three characters are kind of the main cast that you're watching along the way. And the plot of this story is pretty simple, and it flows well enough where every episode is very interesting and enjoyable. And for sure there are some intensities, and there's like some surprises, and like, okay, it's doing a good job. I like that, because there's scenes where you get your cliffhangers and like, oh, what's gonna happen next? Like, oh right, and it's a fun show for sure, and some of the things that I know is gonna be coming up, and what was presented to me in these, is it 12 episodes or 13? I always forget. Do a quick check here. 12 episodes. The 12 episodes that are presented to us in season 1, because you know this thing's gonna get another season, for sure. Actually, who's producing this one? Does it tell me? Studio C2C. What do they do actually? They've done. Let's see if I know any of these. I don't know the English name for that one. Oni Changata. I did a review on that one too. This one's another one that has such a long name that I need to finish watching. The World End. Basically, it's World End. If you know what I'm talking about, they did that. What's more traditional shows that people know? Actually, they haven't done that much. Interesting. Huh. C2C, huh? I've only seen 2 shows based off them. I was gonna watch that one, but Wandering Witch, The Journey of Elena. Okay. If any of those sound familiar, that's the same company that is currently or finished working on Moonlit Fantasy. And they did a good job. I'll say that they did a good job. The voice acting was great. It was fun. Every character was enjoyable to watch. There was some fan service, but it was not like overblown. And it did a fantastic job here doing that. There's not really much more to say. It's just really good action, reasonably interesting story plots. There was some good heart to this show too, and some feels, but there's not super any real negatives to the show, besides kind of some flow to it. But besides that, it's like it was a very reasonably well-paced show, and I enjoyed it, and I'm hoping for more because it ended fantastic. So like the final like act of this season was like, all right, it's getting to it. So for this for season 1, because it's gonna be more Moonlit Fantasy, I'm gonna give this one a solid 8 out of 10. What it could have had more that was amazing. There's a couple things that were in stuff like that in the light novels and in the manga that expand a couple things that are presented to us world building wise, and I did mention that I was not gonna put that into my thoughts, but the show itself is like great enough where it does deserve the solid 8 out of 10 for a show which is a solid score for any anime, and it did a good job for what it was. But yeah, that's kind of really it. There's not much more I could say without spoiling some stuff in the show. It's just a fun journey of Makoto kind of trying to figure out his journey to interact with humans and just do his thing. Fun action, great interaction with other people. Overall, just a really fun anime, and it's another fun isekai. We've had a lot of them, and for sure this one was a very enjoyable one. Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Like I said, if you're listening to this on any podcast network, you can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. Let me know there, wherever I post this. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave it in the comments and let me know what you guys thought about it. So, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya.